Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the brakes and the pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Go. Okay, let's get it.
Round 13 takes us back to one of the most exciting mile-and-a-half tracks in racing, Chicagoland Speedway. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eliza Bethel alongside Matt Sisler for the Salute to Service 260 at Chicagoland Speedway. Matt, how you doing out there tonight?
Good, Eliza, doing good. One of my favorite tracks. Glad to see it come back on the calendar with an absolute thriller of a race yesterday. Can't wait to see what our drivers do tonight.
I'm right there with you. It feels good to be back, and I know yesterday in NASCAR it was an amazing race, so a lot of fun to watch. I'm excited to be here tonight. It's a little slippery out here, but before we get to the race, you know what we have to do? We have driver spotlights tonight, so we got to get them in the booth here. Both are representing Independence Motorsports. We have a pilot of the number 12, Fortson Poston, and driver of the number 14, Travis Stroney. What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's up? We're doing good.
Glad to hear it. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with the questions. And so far, based on practice, if your car had a personality, what would it be? And we're going to start with Fortson.
God. Nothing could have prepared me for that question.
I love putting you guys on the spot.
Goodness. My car was a personality. Probably loud and proud.
Ooh, very nice. All right, what about you, Travis? If your car had a personality, what would it be?
The sloppy drunk. This place, my car is loose
Yeah,
and wild
sliding all
everywhere.
over. I feel you on that one. I was out there before, and it is definitely slippery, so we're going to have to watch it out there for sure. All right, next question. You get a redo on one race this season. Which race and why? And we're going to start with Travis.
Oh, good God. Well, probably that green-white checkered at Michigan. I lost
yes.
to Brody. That's on that last restart. If I had a chance to do it over, that would probably be that one.
Fair enough. I feel you on that one. All right, Fortson, what about you? One race you could redo this season. Which race and why?
I think for me it would be Kansas, because that race I was up front a lot and I had two guys who were a little bit quicker than me crash each other. And I could have won that race if I would have stayed out in clean air, but I kept screwing up the pit stop, so that's definitely one I would like to redo.
Can't say blame you. We all have races like that for sure, so I feel you on that one. All right, next question. What is one thing we don't know about you? And we're going to start with Fortson.
I am a big Clemson Tigers fan. Watch a lot of college football.
Ooh, okay.
My favorite team in any sports.
Very nice. All right, how long you been a fan?
I've been alive for 21 years, so probably 21.
He was born a fan. Very nice. All right, Travis, what about you? What is one thing we don't know about you?
Oh, God. I am to go back to the default. I am a proud father of two beautiful children, two beautiful girls.
Oh, I love that.
Lucky I get to break away and do this every Monday night.
Very nice. I love that. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, next question. What got you into racing? And we're going to start with Travis.
Oh, God. My dad, actually. He was taking my brother and I from, my earliest memories are spent
Yeah.
at MIS honestly.
Oh,
Some of my earliest memories going out to Brooklyn, and we used to go twice a year when, they used to race twice a year in Michigan. But yeah, that kind of fizzled out for a while, and then we got back into it, or I got back into it around COVID, and just reignited the passion. Feel like I'm, 8 years old again sometimes watching these races. They're that good.
isn't that crazy? How long you been on iRacing for?
Oh, good Lord. About 5 years now, I think.
All right, very
We're
nice.
doing Xbox racing leagues, and then bought a PC, and
Yeah.
I was kind of the first to migrate over here, and just reconnected with a lot of these guys that I used to race with on Xbox, and now we're here. We're all good buddies. He's Mr. Stale Pringles over there.
That's
But,
crazy. I wonder if I ever race with you guys on the Xbox. That's kind of funny.
Maybe. That's actually this weekend. A lot of us are going down to Atlanta to go watch the race coming up.
Oh, how cool. That'll be
I know,
awesome.
I'm very excited.
Yeah,
I've met,
for sure.
met a lot of them, but there's a few that I still haven't met that I'll get to meet this weekend, so it'll be a good time.
Very nice. I love that. All right, Forsen, what about you? What got you into racing?
Oh man, I played a lot of Hot Wheels when I was a kid. I always loved cars. My granddaddy always had nice cars. I think
Nice.
what got me into racing is I think my dad was watching it, or either my brother wasn't. I think it was like 2011, like Dega or something, like 2012. And I always thought it was crazy seeing all those cars going together as a kid, and I was like, man, that looks so cool. And so I started collecting all the cars and watching as many as I could. I went to my first race in 2019 Coke 600 with my granddaddy and my dad, and I've tried to go as much as I could ever since. Most recent one being Rockingham this year.
Ooh, nice. Man, you gotta love that, having that tradition, and you got generations going, so I absolutely love that. That's great. All right, final question, guys. This is from Philip Bridgman and John Velocity from last week. What is your favorite food and beverage to eat and drink? And we're gonna start with Fortson.
I always love me a good steak, or a ribeye. And my favorite drink is, it depends on the day. It's either a Dr. Pepper or a Mountain Dew.
I'm with you on the Mountain Dew. And a good
Love
steak
Mountain
is,
Dew.
yeah, chef's
keep
kiss right
that.
there. All right, Travis, what about you? Favorite food and drink?
Oh God, it'd probably be easier for me to list off the foods that I don't like. If I had to pick a favorite
Yeah.
on any given night, it's honestly tacos. And I'm not talking white people tacos. I'm talking like real traditional street tacos.
Oh yeah. Those are
And
awesome.
with a nice cold cerveza.
Okay.
Best pairing. Can't beat it.
I feel you on that. That's awesome. So what is your favorite beverage?
Oh God. I couldn't even tell you. Water?
There you go.
Water,
It works.
water, beer.
Sweet tea's not even in your
Sweet
top
tea.
five.
Sweet
It's
tea's
just
good.
insane.
Yeah, you gotta
live
have
in
something
Michigan,
good
you know?
with tacos. I mean, beer or
Yeah.
something at least. A good margarita.
Beer, margarita.
Yeah, there you
water.
go.
I'm not a big pop drinker. I do drink sweet tea, but
There you
I don't
go.
drink a lot of pop.
Fair enough. All right, and I have one last question for you guys. Either one of you can answer or both. Do you have a question for next week's driver?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Fortune.
Okay.
If you could go back in time and watch any race at any time, what would it be and why?
Ooh, I like it. That's a good question. We'll keep that one. All right, Travis, you got anything, or are you gonna stick with Fortson's?
I will piggyback off of that. I mean, that's kind of similar. If you could race at any NASCAR, from any era at any track in history, what combination would you choose and why?
Okay, I like these questions. Very nice. All right, that is it for the booth out here. But man, it was fun getting to talk to you guys and getting to know you a little bit more. I appreciate you guys being out here, and a lot of luck tonight in the race. And Fortson, Travis, I'm waiting for the win. It's gonna happen, okay? I'm waiting for it.
Believe me, we're trying.
I'm gonna need some help
We're
tonight.
trying.
Lady Luck needs to be on my side. Fortune's got a good shot at it
We're
though.
trying.
He's fast. He just needs to keep that connection going.
That's right.
I mean, we've been good. We got we upgraded with a better internet.
Oh,
so-
nice. Okay. Good to hear. Good to hear. All right. Well, we'll talk to you next time. Good luck out there tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You guys heard it from Fortson and Travis. A lot of fun getting to talk to them. Matt, what do you think we're going to see out there tonight?
A lot of loose race cars, Eliza. They were talking about it. I've talked to Mike Ontact in the series. He says it's going to be tricky out here.
Yeah.
Guys are going to be fighting these race cars all the way around tonight, so be ready. We might see some guys having to really wrestle these Gen 7 stock cars here at Chicagoland.
I agree. And I think the seams are going to be an issue. And we've had some talk about that little box. I believe it's out of 2. That if you can either use that to help your car turn, but there's a lot of drivers that are having an issue with it, where it's making them very, very loose, and they wreck coming out of that. So a lot of drivers that are staying low on this track are getting extremely loose coming out of the corners. So I will not be surprised to see a couple of wrecks out here. It's going to be very interesting. These drivers have a lot that they're going to have to contend with tonight, so it'll be fun. But take a look at these paint schemes. I got to call out all these paint schemes. Beautiful schemes out here. And also we have America's 250th birthday. How about that? So just feeling very American this week. And yeah, a lot of patriotism. And also we got USA in soccer tonight. How about that?
Yeah, so if just a heads up for anybody watching, if I suddenly go silent, it's not that I'm probably in shock of what's happening on the track unless we have somebody flipping. It'll probably be something happening in the soccer match.
You know, and I will not be surprised if we can see someone flipping, but we'll have to keep our eye on it. But thank you
Ryan
guys in
Preece
chat.
isn't entered, is he? Ryan Preece
You
isn't
never
entered,
know.
is he?
He might be out there just
So sorry.
as somebody else, you know? Dang.
I like Ryan Preece. I feel bad that he's become the poster child for big flips in the Cup Series.
Oh, well, here we go. Practice is over in Austin Mitty. He was the fastest out there with a 30.22, so extremely fast out there. Now we're headed on over to qualifying. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, hanging out with us and rooting on the drivers out here. But we're gonna see what kind of fast times they get. I know we saw a lot of 3s out there and some 2s showing up, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think we're going to see some guys really struggle with this qualifying effort with how loose it gets, especially on those cold tires. But we are going to start the race tonight around 5 p.m., so hopefully we'll get some beautiful views in the distance.
For sure. The Chicagoland, I mean, sitting just in Joliet, so it's not as picturesque as the downtown Grant Park street circuit that NASCAR was running the last few years, but still an awesome view when it doesn't get too foggy or smoky, depending on what it was on Saturday night. That was weird, wasn't it?
It was very weird. And I'll tell you what, even when I got into the session and did some test runs, it was extremely foggy. So we did a little adjusting to make it a little less so. But how about Craig Meyer out there? Take a look at this Busch light scheme. Man, I'll tell you what, I always say this, but I just love the paint schemes that have to do with beer and whatnot. I don't know. They're just always so good. What is the graphics are just on top of it.
Yeah, and you gotta love the chrome blue on the nose, the chrome blue on the number 25 on his door. At least that's the paint scheme I'm seeing. Good, you're seeing it too. Just making sure.
I'm seeing it too.
Just making sure Trading Paints wasn't messed up, folks, because sometimes it'll do that and show different paint schemes. But Craig's got an awesome looking Busch Light Toyota on there, and think about alternate reality. If this was real life, that could have been a 23XI paint scheme if Ross Chastain didn't get Busch Light away from Kevin Harvick when he retired. How about that? Would have been, talk about that for some like shifting mirrors moment.
That's true too. Absolutely. Take a look at this. Evan Adams, he's out there at the top, out there with a 30.293. Travis Stroney, he came out with a 30.428. Craig Meyer in third, 30.446. He's going to move down to fourth with with Brooks Mustang, a newer driver. He's going to be in second with a 30.388. These times a little separated, but man, oh man, Matt, we have a lot of 4s out there currently.
Yeah, and I think a lot of drivers, it's a lot different when you go in, and a lot of these drivers will probably have wanted to use the practice session just to do long runs, but take it from me, when you do that, it's awfully hard to snap your mind into okay, I gotta go out and go 2 laps as fast as possible without wrecking the car. I wouldn't be surprised if we look at the replay from some of these drivers, if they're having, like you mentioned, problems off of turn 2 with the bump in 2, the bumps in through 3 and 4. I did a few test laps earlier, and I noticed as well that the car really wanted to step around, like I said, exits of turns 2 and 4, so, you know, and that's the problem. Like, you feel like you're on the power, and these cars feel so planted until they don't. And I know you've experienced this, Eliza, with these Gen 7s. These cars feel so planted through the corner. You get in the gas the same way you've been doing in practice, the same way you've been doing for lap after lap, and then all of a sudden the car decides, no, I want to go over there now, and spins. So
yeah, it does not give you much of a warning of when it's going to snap like that. So sometimes you can save us, sometimes you cannot. But take a look. We have Austin Mitty on top with a 30.282. Evan Adams with a 30.293. Jimmy Cocker with a 30.302. Jordan McGraw sitting P4 with a 30.311. And Brooks Mustang rounding out your top 5 with a 30.362. We'll see if these drivers hold on to it. But man, a strong top 5 out there currently.
For sure, and it's a front row that's all beer. We have Austin Mitty with his Miller Lite scheme out there, and Evan Adams with the I mentioned Kevin Harvick right and sponsors right before you pulled him up. Well, the Budweiser number 29. Gee, I'm pretty sure we saw that before, because we saw Francis Hamilton sitting in the grass in the infield doing a impression of Kyle Larson.
Just a little bit, but man, he had a solid car right there.
Larson
All
had
right.
a very good car on just once it went wrong for him, he just never could get it back.
I know. There was so many heartbreaking moments in that race, I'll tell you what. But yeah, it was a
Tyler
good race
Reddick,
overall.
like talk about Tyler Reddick just ran like. We've seen that happen before. We've seen them have a radiator problem where it does that, but we very rarely see it where it blows the radiator and yet the engine doesn't blow. Nothing in the car is hurt aside from the radiator. So Reddick was still running like 30 laps down when they got it fixed. It was really weird.
It was weird. I'll tell you that. That is for sure. All right, we are getting gridded up here. Let's go through the positions. Austin Mitty on pole in that 77 with a 30.282. To his outside, we're going to have Evan Adams in the 29 machine. Jimmy Cocker going to be in row 2 with Jordan McGraw. Row 3 is going to be Brooks Mustang in the 54 car with Brendan Book on his outside in that 5 machine. Row 4 is going to be Tristan Helf in the 38 with Michael J. Adams in that 3 machine. And in row 5 is going to be Jose Ruiz in the 23 with Travis Stroney in that 14 car.
Row 6, it is that patriotic Busch Light machine of Craig Meyer in 11th alongside Francis Hamilton in the 48. Fortson Poston and Andrew Sanford make up row 7 behind them with Dakota Wilkins, Luke Allen qualified row in 15th and 16th. Nick Tarana and Philip Bridgman in 17th and 18th. The last driver to take time, Matthew Gale in 19th. And Steven Maggio, he's out there in a patriotic-looking number 51 scheme. Had a dominant run last week, He'll round out your top 20.
There you go. P21 is going to be Thomas Harmon in the 18 car. John Velocity in 22nd. Matt Burgess 23rd. And we're going to have Brian Pizzakimi in 24th with Doug Lockrow. He is going to be P25 in that 13 machine. And that is going to be our field tonight. If you guys want to vote, let me know. Who do you think is the best paint scheme tonight? We have so many good ones, but I'll tell you what, that would be a hard choice to try to choose.
For sure. And it's not one of the patriotic ones, I don't, at least not on my screen, but I love that Tristan Hell finally embraced went full Robert Yates with the M&M's Ford.
It's a good
love
looking
that.
car. Yeah.
I loved that car when Elliott Sadler drove it. It makes me smile to see it. Just a classic paint scheme, and it's really sad we don't really get to see stuff like cool special schemes like that anymore.
I know. I'm with you on that one. For sure, but here we go. It is going to be round 13, 107 laps out here in Season 6. It is going to be slippery. There will be a caution or two. Hopefully not. They'll prove me wrong. But at least they'll be out there looking really good in those paint schemes as we are racing here. 107 laps. Let's get ready to go.
Absolutely. We'll see who can get the better launch, who can take care of their stuff. Tire's going to be important. And all on the line here as we get ready to rechristen Chicagoland.
Green flag.
Here we go, green flag, and these guys are already off and going past the start-finish line 2 by 2 all the way through. Let's see what's going on. Man, they are just on top of each other. Take a look at that low side, nose to tail. They're just now starting to spread out, but that 29 of Evan Adams, he's got a nice lead right now.
Yeah, phenomenal launch for him, and we saw that in the Cup Series too, that it wasn't always the guy choosing the bottom, the leader when he would go there, wasn't always getting the best starts. Something else we didn't see, luckily we didn't see any 3 and 4 wide just yet, although we saw it almost off turn 4 with Travis Stroney, Jose Ruiz, and Francis Hamilton for about 10th, it looks like.
Kind of fanning out, not a lot of guys in the middle, and I'm hearing in practice some of the drivers were preferring the middle line there, but you can see right behind Evan Adams, one was taking the low side, one was taking the high side to try to keep that clean air, but so far these guys looking solid, but Austin Mitty out here in second, Jimmy Cocker in third.
Yeah, and clean air going to be so important, and I know our fans out there are tired of hearing us say it over and over, but dirty, you don't want to be in the dirty air, and you could even see Austin right there in the middle of the corner behind Evan. He tries to follow, he gets a little bit of clean air, the car turns, he gets in that dirty air, and I'm pretty sure he had to lift or hit the outside wall out of 2 there. As soon as he got in the dirty air, you just lose all grip and the car wants to take off.
Take a look at this. Austin Mitty right behind Evan Adams, and he has had so much speed this season, but we've seen some trouble for him in the last couple of races. He was not comfortable at those tracks, but man, he is back and he is on the hunt for that lead, and we have a battle brewing up, and this is going to be for P3. The 54 of Brooks Mustang going to try to get in front of Jimmy Cocker. Let's see if he can do it. There he goes. He's going to be right there, and Jimmy Cocker going to be right on his bumper.
Yeah, you said battle. I say Jimmy kind of looked like Jimmy might have backed out. He might be trying to save his stuff a little because he was on the outside into turns 3 and 4, and somebody who's raced this track countless times, you know you can very easily roll that middle groove or high groove when somebody drives it in below you and stay in front. Jimmy backed out of it, maybe playing a little bit of tire save mode here early. Let the 54 go up and try to get him and just sort of sit back, take care of your stuff.
Howard, I see you out there. Hope you're doing well tonight. Evan Adams, he's got some company, that 77, just waiting to try to make a move. You know, you talk about just kind of letting him go by. I'm kind of curious, will Austin just hold back and just try to save those tires, or is he going to try? You can see him going low, and that could be to get that clean air, but man, he headed up very fast on that high side as he is currently right behind Evan Adams here. Lap 7 of 107. These guys are looking for any position that they can get because you know positions are hard to gain here, especially when that clean air comes in factor here. Philip Bridgman, trouble for him. He goes underneath the track, making his way back up, but incredible save.
Yes, he did. Happened to catch it out of the corner of my eye, and yeah, just as we were saying, that's the first one of the night. Definitely not going to be the last, but a good save by the driver of that number 24 machine. just probably caught that bump off at 2, running on the low side. These Gen 7s sitting lower to the ground than the O'Reilly's cars, and just catches him and sends him around. Very good save, though. These cars do not like, they don't like to sudden direction changes, and they don't like to be saved when they get loose.
No, they don't. It kind of sometimes does the opposite. Ooh, that 77 goes up so fast off of those corners. Kind of scares me a little bit, but man, these guys are just on top of each other. Take a look, Brooks Mustang in third. He's got some competition. That's going to be Jimmy Cocker, who is kind of easing off and going back behind him. But I wonder if we're going to have a 4-car breakaway. It looks like 5-car breakaway happening here. Brendan Book is going to be the last in that group, and Brooks Mustang, here he goes into second, Matt.
Yeah, great move by him to try for it. My screen jumped back about 10 seconds, so I didn't know what you were talking about. I apologize. Austin, and that's the thing. Austin just gets that high line, and he gets a few car lengths behind. Oh, Brendan Book in trouble on the out of 2, trying to save it. Locks it down. Will we get a caution? I don't think we're going to get a caution off that, Eliza. Good job by Brendan to save that race car. That, when it kicked back to the right like that, it looked bad. Good job to just get it back, hook to the left, and lock it down and avoid trouble.
Yeah, watching him save that, he almost completely lost it. So sideways right there, but goes back under, so that does not bring out a caution. And he has been plagued with that this season. Just individual wreck out there, and unfortunately it's going to cost him a lot of spots and some tire wear. So those tires are going to be angry at him for a while. But take a look. Jimmy Cocker and Austin Mitty battling it for second. Jimmy Cocker going to go to P2. Austin Mitty going to go right behind Jimmy Cocker. Brooks Mustang in fourth.
Yeah, and Austin went into the corner a little harder than he probably wanted to. Either had to check up just to try to make the corner, or got loose. Either way, it allowed Mustang to get the run up high in that ultra high groove, the Reddick or Larson line, whoever you want to call it, name it after. Great move by Brooks to just be heads up, reactive, and take the spot.
Evan Adams said that he was confident, loved Chicagoland, and it looks like he is right. But Jimmy Cocker going to give him a little bit of competition out here as these guys are side by side for the lead. And Jimmy Cocker is going to tuck in right behind that 29. He is not ready just yet to take that over, but Brooks Mustang says, hey, I'm right here. I'm going to wait for a mistake to try to capitalize on it.
And it doesn't even have to be a mistake, Eliza. We saw it in the Cup race. It would just be guys getting side by side as Jimmy tries to clear the 29 into 1. All it took was drivers getting side by side. They got slowed down, and there would just be a car with a huge amount of momentum behind it. We've seen it at a number of these these 1.5 to 2 mile ovals where guys will just get that huge run and just slingshot by or take it 3-4 wide. He tried to do it. Evan fighting back on the bottom, though, out of 4, and he takes the lead back from Jimmy, heading back to the line to start lap 15.
Man, action-packed already, lap 15, and you'd think that we are racing for the win already, but Jimmy Cocker dives it down low, has a nose out, but here we go, that high side with that momentum. Evan is going to take that lead back over with some drafting help from that 54 behind him.
And, I mean, and you're saying they're fighting for the win. It's like they're fighting for the win right now, excuse me. I mean, they kind of are. If we go green, you want to be that, you want to have the guy, be the guy at the end of this race with track position. You want to be the guy out front, having fully clean air on the nose, because even if the 54 and 11, even the 77, they might be a little bit quicker than that 29 right now. But if Evan can just roll that top with the clean air, or if he even decides to go defensive and start driving out his mirrors and putting dirty air on the cars behind him, it's so hard with this aero package to make passes when you are trapped in the dirty air of cars in front. And the further back in the pack you get, the problem just gets worse.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. So you have to stay on top of it. But again, it's a fine line because you got to save those tires. So these guys are going to just continuously test what they can get away with and what's going to hurt him in the long run. But take a look at this. Fortson Poston up 8 spots. He is currently P5. Great momentum for him. Tristan Helf is going to be 6. Travis Stroney, who we talked to, his teammate for Independence Motorsports, he's up 3 spots, sitting P7. Steven Maggio, he is up to 8th, up 12 spots from where he started. Absolutely incredible, the amount of spots he's made up.
Is anybody surprised after we've seen what Steven's done the past few weeks when he shows up not running for a championship, just running for wins? But very impressive as he goes to work on, looks like Travis Stroney. Ooh, banging doors down the front straightaway. Careful, guys. Behind him right now, getting to watch that fight, is Francis Hamilton in 9th, and Luke Allen rounds out the top 10. 11th, we have Nick Tarana, who's leading that second pack with Andrew Sanford, Michael J. Adams in 13th, Jordan McGraw 14th, and the 87 of John Vlasky trying to work on the 34 for 14th as they go into turn 3.
Yeah, 15th is going to be Jordan McGraw, 16th, Thomas Harmon in that 18 car, Craig Meyer in 17th, Brian Pizzikimi in 18th, Jose Ruiz in 19th, and Dakota Wilkins out there rounding out your top 20.
21st is Philip Bridgman. Nice little recovery for him after we saw that slide early on. He's gotten a few spots back. 22nd is Matt Burgess as John Vlasky goes for a slide on the backstretch. We got trouble. It's Thomas Harmon.
One time real quick.
Ooh, let's take a look back, see what happened here. Already some contact between the two. Let's rewind that. Looks like, oh man, the 87. I don't know what was going on here. I don't know if he got loose, but
it looks like middle of the corner. If you look at the 87, he comes down the hill. It looks to me like he got in there, he got loose, and we did see that with Austin Mitty up at the front, that when he got in the middle of the corner like that, almost that exact same spot, it got loose. There wasn't anybody around him that time, and he was able to save it. This time, nothing that could be done. Harmon gets into it. I think Craig Meyer ended up spinning as well, just barely avoided door slamming another driver further down the racetrack. Unfortunate for one of the best drivers in Shake and Bake, Harmon, to now be have damage to the front end of that number 18 Camry. He's going to have to try to get that fixed and rally from the back.
Well, you know who is going to take advantage of this caution out here? Brennan Book. He is caught back up to the drivers here. We'll see if he takes some fresh tires after, he probably made those tires pretty angry. We see him making his way on in here along with the rest of the field. So no doubt all these drivers will be taking those fresh tires, but our first caution of the night here at Chicagoland Speedway.
And we knew this was going to happen, folks. It was just a matter of time, and I was wondering about that when we saw Austin get loose, like middle of the corner. It was a surprise to me to see him check up that much. Saw the car just twitch a little bit more sideways in the middle of 1 and 2 than you'd expect with these Gen 7s that, they don't like to turn, and then they turn too much. Brooks Mustaine won the race off pit road, a phenomenal pit stop by that 54 crew to get him out to the lead. Only his, I believe, second career Shake and Bake start, Eliza, and he's going to lead us back to green flag.
Yeah, he's done a phenomenal job out there. I was hoping that we'd see him out there in Team Chas, but he is not available to chat with. But so far from what I've seen with Brooks, he is extremely strong, has a lot of speed, so I'm excited to see what he can do here. But Evan Adams going to be in second, Austin Mitty in third, Fortson Poston in fourth, and Jimmy Cocker comes out of pit lane, running out your top 5.
Yep, Tristan Helf, 6th. Steven Maggio, 7th. I believe he gained, I would say he gained a spot. He probably pitted behind the timing lines. That might be messed up, but he's 7th. Francis Hamilton, 8th. Luke Allen and Nick Tarana rounding out your top 10. All
right. Well, we have our first caution here. We have fresh tires out there once again, so that means they're going to be cold. Do you think we're going to see a little bit of sliding on these cold tires?
I mean, we saw it a little bit early. We saw it a little bit on the start of the run, but I think it's also these drivers, maybe they'll know a little bit better, but What's that thing we don't like to say when we commentate shake and bake races, Eliza? We don't like to say it because then it always ends up leading to more of
I
them.
know. Do I
don't wanna-
even want to say it?
I don't want to be. I'm not. I won't say it. I'm not
Cautions
being
breed
blamed.
cautions. I'll
It's
just
her
rip the
fault.
Band-Aid off.
Her fault.
Yeah. Let's hope that's not the case. It's been a very, very clean season,
It
so
has been.
I have all the faith that these guys will get it underway once again. But, man, these guys, a lot of them have gained so many positions. I mean, Steven is one of them, Fortson another. So great job. Nick Tarana has gained 6 positions from where he started. He currently sits P11, but Brooks Mustaine, he's going to lead us back to green. Here we go, and he's gained 4 from where he started, and he's got a nice little jump out. And you see Evan Adams out there on that high side, getting a little nudge from that 12 of Fortson Poston. We'll see where they end up.
Yeah, and I had said no 3 wide on that opening start. They're already 3 wide. Ooh, Tristan Elf a little loose as the 11 of Jimmy Cocker goes to the bottom of Austin Mitty, but here comes Health to the bottom, 3 wide for third as Evan Adams trying to take the lead back from Mustaine out front. Ooh, that was
Woo!
close. Jimmy just barely got in front of the nose of that 38 machine.
Yeah, that was very close. I can tell you that some knuckles on the steering wheel probably got a little white holding on to that one, making sure they kept it underneath him. But Brooks still out there in the lead, but he is under attack by Evan Adams, who is trying to get back that lead. He's been so strong tonight. Austin Mitty taking that low side and that clean air. You can see Jimmy Cocker in 4th. Fortson still out there in 5th, and these guys 2 wide. And this is going to be a couple of different battles out here. But man, are they looking strong. This is a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely, and the one thing those leaders, Eliza, they probably didn't want to see was that caution flag, because the one advantage they had, even with Steven Maggio making up that many positions that quickly, I believe he'd made up 12 before we got to the caution, they had the benefit of distance. They still had a few seconds on him because they had a 4-car breakaway. They don't have that now because Steven's up there challenging for the top 5 against Jimmy Cocker.
Yeah, you can see a lot of drivers battling for position behind Brooks Mustaine. He's currently 1st, loving where he is, and the more that they battle behind him, the more gap he is able to put over them. So he is hoping that somebody is going to challenge Evan Adams and that Austin Mitty and Fortson Poston. All these guys will try to battle for those positions. And we have a 3 wide battle, and this is going to be for P3, I do believe. So, man, oh man, these guys just going at it.
And again, it's all about trying to get track position. I can even see Austin dropping that 77 car down, trying to put dirty air on Steven Maggio's nose off the corner. But Maggio had such a nice run, he's going to go to the outside, and he has help from Jimmy Cocker to push him past the 77 into turn 3.
16 spots gained for Steven, just doing a phenomenal job. And we were warned post-race, just chatting with the drivers, Jimmy Cocker said, you know, Steven is extremely strong. These are a lot of tracks coming up that he just, he's got it going on. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to race him. And he's had 2 wins back-to-back last week and the week before. It's possible that we could see it tonight, but I don't know. Brooks Mustaine, he's still looking very, very strong along with Evan.
Yeah, if Steven wants this one, he's definitely going to have to earn it tonight. He did not practice, which isn't a big deal. He did it last week. He didn't practice at all. He showed up right as qualifying got rolling for last week, and he ends up winning that one. And he's already up 16 spots, like you said. But he's going to have to earn it against 3 very, very fast, relatively newer drivers to shake and bake. Steve, this isn't going to be easy. He's still going to have to go get them. They're not, just doesn't matter how good Steven is, doesn't matter that I believe he's a former champion in the series. They're not going to just roll over and give it to him.
Oh, absolutely. He is a champion of last season. And he's currently battling it out with Fortson Poston, who it looked like he hit a wall the lap before. So these 2 drivers just going at it. But our top 3 drivers, rookies in this season, and they're just doing such a great job, showing a lot of speed. Now the question is, if we get a long run, 51 just bringing it up high, man, I'll tell you. So really fun to watch these guys battling. But if we do get that long run, I'm kind of curious. Who is taking care of their tires? Who is going to fall back because they're not? You can get around 50 to 55 laps on fuel. I'm not so sure about tire wear. I don't think they're going to last that long, but if we get a long run here, we're going to find out.
This is true, and you said 50 to 55. I believe we went green again around lap 23-ish. Like that was about the caution lap. We're at, and I hate to be Mr. Fuel Save, but it's theoretically these drivers may only need one more stop. But the question is one stop on older tires gonna be faster than a potential 2-stop for guys who decide that they want to come in a little bit earlier and put 4 fresh tires on? We have a number of sets to use, so maybe some drivers a little further in the pack may try some alternate strategy to get track position with the faster rubber.
Definitely possible. We have some trouble though. Craig Meyer, he went off track. It looked like he might have gotten some damage, but he is back on track and going around here, so we'll see if he comes in. It looks like he may not, but meanwhile, Thomas Harmon, you don't even see him on track. I don't know if he called it quits, had too much damage. Not really sure, but Joseph Turley is another one that pulled off track here. But Evan Adams, he's back in the lead. What happened to Brooks Mustang?
Well, I can say what happened to Craig Meyer with the slide on. Thomas Harmon, connection issue, unfortunately. And Brooks Mustang is in the grass in turn 3. Heavy damage on the 54. I gotta go back and see what happened. Our race leader had been so fast. Oh, turn 2 bit him. Out of 2 in the lead, just a little too much. And the problem is when that next gen, when it gets sideways like that, it doesn't like to settle.
No.
All the other generations of cars, you would have been able to snap that back to the right. But you could see he was trying to drive out of it, which you can do. Unfortunately, these Gen 7s, they're so hard to drive out of a slide like that because the car's still gripping, but it's gripping pointing towards the inside wall, and you can't. It's very, very hard to break it and snap it back the other way. That's so unfortunate for Brooks. He's having such a good day. Meatball for him, so he might be out of this race. We'll have to see if he's able to repair the 54 and come back out.
That is absolutely heartbreaking, and we don't have any fast repairs. I mean, whatever damage you incur, you do have to fix it, or if not, if you have too much damage, you're just simply out of the race. So just hate to see it for him. He had such a strong run tonight, but on board with Forts and Poston currently, and you can see Evan Adams in the lead. Stephen Maggio out here in second, up 18 spots. I don't know how he does it, but I'll tell you what. He is so consistent, so strong. It's just going to be really, really hard to beat him out here. But I don't know. Evan is going to challenge him for it.
For sure, and we're only 38 laps into this. We still have 70 laps to go. This could if we get into green flag stops, caution, real-time caution there could flip the race on its head, and Maggio would have to come try to charge from the back. Same with Evan, same with all these guys as Thomas Harmon comes back out on the racetrack, a couple laps down, but he's gonna keep going, reconnected to the session. So at least good news for that 18 team. He's back out there still running.
Absolutely. You need those points. I mean, if you win a championship, every point matters. So great to see him back out here. Stephen Maggio, he's going down to that low side. Evan going to hang out in that middle line. I know a lot of drivers are comfortable in there on the corners, so we'll see how long that he stays out there in that midline, but we've seen it a few times, and you can see that clean air is just king at every track. As Matt said, you're probably tired of us talking about it, but it's just so true, and all these drivers will be searching for it, as you see they're doing now.
For sure, and you can see this time, Evan knows who's in his mirrors. He's raced Steven the past couple of races. He knows that 51 is a threat to win. You saw that time he dropped it into the groove that Maggio entered in 3 and 4, and you saw how it affected the air of the 51. He got in the corner perfectly fine, and it took off up the hill. It allowed the 12 and 11 to close in a little bit. As Evan gets loose, that's going to give Maggio a run to the outside.
Sure is. He doesn't have enough just yet, but they are side by side along with third. They are also side by side. Man, this is like pace lap at over 170 mile an hour. That's just insane. And I see you out there, Fusion. That's got to be Brooks Mustang. I am just so heartbroken for you. I hate to see it. Let me know. Are you able to come back out, or is your night over? And if you want to chat with us, hop on in the booth.
And as we, yes, indeed. And as we look at that, Steven, and that's just, Evan was so comfortable on that top line, Eliza, and and the instant he lost it, you saw what happened. Went from the lead, a comfortable lead, all the way back to P5, because everybody realized as we see Brooks in the chat, unfortunately, too much damage on that 54. That is a real heartbreaker. He was having a fantastic run from where he started, got to the lead on strategy. It looked very good for him. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end of his night. But you saw what happened with Evan, just a little bit loose off of 2, similar to what happened with Brooks, but he was able to catch it. Unfortunately, catching it cost him that momentum. And critically, he could have probably stayed in front of him, Eliza, if he could have gotten back in front of the 51 and taken that outside into turn 3. But Steven had the run, got to his right rear, and it trapped Evan on the bottom, and everybody behind him went, oh, wait a minute. The guy who's very fast up high is now trapped on the bottom? Well, we're going to go up here. And sure enough, it was a train of cars. First Maggio, then Poston, I can't speak. Then Health and Cocker, all of them taking advantage to put that 29 back in dirty air. We're gonna have to see how he races in that, because we really haven't seen that 29 have to fight back through dirty air and traffic.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna be tough, and it's gonna be something totally different from what he's been used to, because he has had that clean air. So it'll be interesting to see. And in chat, Brooks is saying that he hit that bump, and I've talked about that bump. A lot of drivers are saying once you hit that, it is over. Your car, some drivers are using it to help turn, and then some drivers is hitting them by surprise, and it completely just takes you and spins your car around. And that's unfortunately what happened to Brooks Mustang, and he had such a strong car tonight. You just, you hate to see it, man. But Tristan Helfey's out here in second, but Maggio is already starting to put a nice gap over the field. Just over half a second, so we'll see if Tristan can close that gap. But he's got Jimmy Cocker behind him and Fortson Poston in 4th, and we're going to have Evan Adams and Austin Mitty battling it out for 5th here.
Yep, and Evan's using that top side. He's still getting that clean air. He's, I believe, Francis Hamilton. Yeah, that's a new paint scheme, so you have to forgive me for like that paint scheme, but I'm so used to seeing him run Tigers affiliated stuff that it took me a moment. You're seeing like the cars in front running the bottom, so they're just able to roll that top, and Francis follows him through. Opportunistic move. You have to be opportunistic with these cars. Take the runs where you can get them. Looks like the front 3 second through 4th are trying to reel in Maggio. I think it was also, Eliza, we had them get side by side, and these cars, every type of stock car does not, they slow down when you get side by side. If you're the leader, you can pull away, except for certain aero packages that we don't want to talk about, because Gen 6 aero packages with 550 horsepower and high downforce, not fun. But Steven was able to break away because they get side by side, but we'll see if the 3 of them can kind of find a way. You can't really bump draft like if you're at a plate track like Talladega or Daytona, but if they can get kind of lined up, 3 cars are quicker than 1. Tristan's eating into that lead ever so slightly as Steven drops it down to the bottom of the racetrack in 3 and 4, trying to put a little bit of dirty air on the nose of that 38.
Yeah, he's dropped it down to below half a second, so we'll see if Tristan can get right behind Steven and try to take advantage of getting to the lead here. We'll see what happens, but man, oh man, these guys starting to separate a little bit. Our top 5 were on top of each other, but the gap is starting to appear. Now I think we're going to see some tire wear come into action. We'll see what happens, but Braves, I see you out there. I hope you're doing good. He says, I just want you to know I got iRacing, and he won a couple of races in street stock. So congratulations.
Well done.
That is always an amazing feeling.
Yeah, whether it's your first win or, you know, you're an old hand like myself who's had this from 2020, whenever you can go out and win something, whether it's league race, official, special events, it's just such a cool feeling because you have to, like Jimmy Broadbent said this, and I believe it, the cars may not be real, but the racing is. And when you go out and earn a win, like, it truly does mean a lot. And it's something that people who don't sim race like we do, that they just don't seemingly understand. They just see video game, which, to be fair, I can understand, but also the racing is real, and for us to come out and win races in like real races against other people across the world, it's such a cool thing.
It so is. And he says that he's on a controller. Hey, you know what? We were just actually talking about that tonight. You're not the first one. You will not be the last. There's been some popular names out there on a controller. So, hey, you're winning races. That's all that matters here. But let's take a look at some race data. We're on at lap 53 of 107. Our current leader, Stephen Maggio. We've had one caution and a total of 5 lead changes. And speaking of lead changes, holy guacamole, Stephen Maggio just flying across the track down low to keep Tristan behind him. But man, oh man, Tristan is trying to get up to that lead, made it right to his bumper. I think we're going to be battling for this lead very shortly.
If Tristan can get on his outside, for sure. I know that's what he was trying to do on the front straightaway, but Maggio took it all the way down to the apron, just trying to not even necessarily break the draft. I know you see guys doing that, but just trying to get separation, get away from the side draft. As Tristan trying to take it to the bottom and wanting to clean air. We'll see if he's had better tire wear than Steven in that Camry up high. Not able to do it just yet, but that gap is down to less than a car length as they head for 3.
Man, oh man, Tristan gonna try something different and see what else can work out there as he's in second. Jimmy Cocker is not too far behind in third, and that is going to allow him to catch up if these two can battle for the lead. That's exactly what Jimmy wants to see out there. Meanwhile, Fortson Poston, who has gained 9 positions, he sits P4, and he's going side by side with Francis Hamilton and Evan Adams. These guys coming back up through the field. So Evan, he's trying to get those spots back, Matt.
Yeah, was our race leader after Brooks Mustane's unfortunate incident out of turn 2 a while ago. He had a little bit of a moment, allowed Jimmy Cocker to get to his, or not Jimmy Cocker, well, Jimmy was one of them, but it was Stephen Maggio. As Steven was able to roll the top, get by, he fell as far as 5th and trying to claw back some positions now as he's gotten the 12 back. And now he's got to try to run down those guys out front as we have, speaking out front, battle for the race lead. Tristan Health all over Maggio into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, he sure was. He doesn't have quite enough to, get that lead and get out in front of that 51. Steven is just too strong right now. And you can see Tristan falling back a little bit, so we'll see how this pans out. But our top 3 drivers starting to put a gap on the field. Jimmy holding on, but I'm kind of curious, will he be able to gain on our top 2 drivers? I see a lot of movement out here, and I'm thinking it's just connection. But, man, we got a lot of battling going on about P7. These guys in front and behind. Quite the group out here.
For sure. We've got about a group of, I think, 7, 8 race cars right now going from the battle for P4 between Francis Hamilton and Evan Adams. And I think Andrew Sanford grazed the wall off of 2. It's going to open the door for Luke Allen and Travis Stroney behind, while Poston, a quick change of fortune for him. He was 1 point fighting for the top 3, running there fairly comfortably, and now he's fallen all the way back to the tail end of the second pack. So, and even the second pack starting to break up as Hamilton, Mitty, and Adams breaking away a little bit as they try to go run down the front 3.
Brennan Book, who we saw have a solo spin earlier on, he is out here currently 11, so that caution definitely helped him get back in the field. Now we'll see if he can get a couple of more positions out of it tonight. Brian Pizzichemi, he's up 12 spots sitting, well, P12, so he's on his own little island right now, but a really, really solid run out here. Jose Ruiz in 13th, Nick Tarana in 14th, Matt Burgess in 15th, and Michael J. Adams, he's out here 16th. John Felicity, we saw an earlier issue with him also. He's out here 17th.
Yeah, the damage must not be too bad because that 87 looks fairly planted right now as we watch him go around the Speedway. Right, he's just in front of Jordan McGraw, currently in the 18th position. Matthew Gale sits 19th, fighting Dakota Wilkins for that spot, who rounds out the top 20 in that number 44 machine. Philip Bridgman, 21st. Been a bit of a rough day. He's a bit separated from the pack. I wouldn't be surprised if he had another one of his slides off of turn 2. I say his. It should be the field slides.
Yeah.
22nd, Craig Meyer, well back. Just not his day after his slide earlier. And then the last car running, I believe 7 laps down. We saw him while we were going through the field. He's just in front of Brendan Book as we have cars pitting. Thomas Parman, P23. 24th. Yep, 24th, Brooks Mustaine, unfortunate. Joseph Turley as well, did not take the green, and Dougie Lockrow as well. Now I see.
Evan Adams had a very interesting entry into pit lane, but man, he kept it underneath him. And take a look, we do have another battle for, black flag, unfortunately. I was kind of curious how that was going to situate out, but another battle for the lead between Steven and Tristan. And Tristan just, I don't know, he's just unable to get that little nudge that he needs to make it out in front of Steven. Steven is just so incredibly strong, and he's done a great job defending it. A little aggressive, so I know it's keeping Tristan on his toes, but lap 64 of 107, the stint length so far is 42 laps. Another 10, and I would say these guys are going to be coming down pit lane.
We already saw it. I think Evan was trying for the undercut, which can work to your advantage here, except we have a caution. Looked like something in the tri-oval.
Travis Stroney involved. Let's see if we can go out there. Have another replay of that here. Yeah, it looks like just getting loose off the exit. I don't know if he was trying to make his way onto pit lane and just had too much speed. Let's try to rewatch that here. Nope, he just got loose coming off that exit there. Man, oh man, yep. Trying to save that. Take a look at him trying to keep it off that track. A fantastic job, but it's going to be a great time to take it on in and get those tires.
Yeah, that really does save him being able to, he does fall to the tail of that, of not quite the tail of the lead lap, as there was, I believe, Craig Meyer further behind him, but even so, being able to get bunched back up, he'll be able to bolt those new tires on, like you said, and still be in the fight with no damage to that number 14 machine, so he got quite lucky with that.
Evan Adams, you said a black flag for him, so, man, interesting to see, but here these drivers come on down pit lane. You see Steven Maggio leading the field, Tristan Helf in second, Jimmy Cocker running out your top third. These guys taking those tires again.
I mean, you're going to them 40, you had said 42 laps right before the caution came out, so, and now they can make it, and we'll be like 39, 40 laps when we go back to green. Perfect timing for some of these guys. Evan Adams, though, you feel for him. That was our front-running car, one of the dominant cars. If he stays out just a few more laps, Eliza, he's pitting with these guys, but now he's going to have to fight really from underneath.
Yeah, take a look. Tristan Helf just barely beat Steven Maggio out on the race to the track here. But Tristan Helf going to lead the field back to green. Steven Maggio in second. Jimmy Cocker going to keep a spot, P3. Francis Hamilton made some nice gains, sitting fourth. Austin Mitty in fifth. Fortson Poston, he's going to be in sixth.
Yep, Luke Allen, seventh. Brian Pisakemi looks like he'll be in 8th. Phenomenal drive for him, plus 16, I believe. He started
Yeah.
24th. Andrew Sanford behind him in, Pisakemi was 8th, Sanford 9th, and Jose Ruiz will restart from the tail of that top 10. But how about that? That's the second time, Eliza, where we've seen a caution fly, and the leader onto pit road does not lead them off pit road.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how that's playing out. But now we got to see how is Tristan going to keep Steven behind him. I mean, he's going to be the one that goes first. This green is on him, on his go. So that is going to be a huge advantage to him. Now, what's he going to do to keep that lead?
He's definitely got to clear that 51 before they get down in the corner, because we've seen it, I think, twice now where the guy who restarts from the inside doesn't get away as well as we think they should. And I mean, that's how Evan Adams took the lead on the start of this race. They were side by side. I expected the pole sitter to pull out and get the lead, and just Adams rolled that outside line. He was just able to take the lead, and he held it for a while just off a simple restart, where on iRacing 9 times out of 10 you're the control car, you're gonna lead through the first corner on equal tires, and it didn't happen. So we just have to see.
I agree. Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting on this restart for sure. Second caution of the night, getting ready to go back to green. The pace car going to pull off. As you see, the lights are out, and it is on Tristan's go. This is going to tell us a lot of how this goes. He's got a nice restart here, but Steven Maggio, he is on top of it also, and he goes right down to that bottom line directly behind Health. So, man, it is on like Donkey Kong. You can already see him on the back bumper, and we see Jimmy Cocker right there side by side.
Jimmy took advantage of that. Steven wanted that clean air, and Tristan landed that car right on the bottom to cut him off. Jimmy took advantage with that, just changing up his line to get a better run off too, trying to go for the lead. And Tristan, I think he saw that 11 coming, ran that top side to keep Jimmy behind him. Is now Cocker looking for the lead into 1.
Not sure that he's going to have enough, but they are side by side. Tristan might have that high side momentum there. You see it. But Jimmy still got a nose underneath Tristan here. What's it going to be for these two? And the 51 is just saying, have at it. Wear your tires out. I'm going to try to make a move when I can. But Jimmy goes to the lead.
I believe for the first time all night, which is unusual for Jimmy when he starts that close to the front. We usually expect to see him get to the lead quicker. But there he goes, lap 71 of 107, the number 11 machine to the point for the first time all night.
I'm pretty sure last week, I might be wrong, but I thought he said he's not his favorite tracks that are coming on the schedule for the next few races, if I remember correctly. So right now he's looking very, very strong. He's been up here the entire race in the top 5. So very, very consistent. Tristan Health in second, Steven Maggio in third. These three are going to try to get away and put a gap over fourth. But take a look, Francis Hamilton. Strong car tonight, and he is looking pretty darn good.
Indeed, he's had phenomenal race pace, up from P12. Fortson Poston also up 7 spots from his starting spot, or 8 spots from his starting position in 13th. Those two now kind of lined up nose to tail, trying to work together, make sure they don't lose that front trio, because as we saw, Eliza, if like 3-4 cars break away, even if you got a number of cars behind them that, you had the numbers advantage, it was very, very difficult to reel that lead group back in.
So true. You can see Francis out here and the top 3 drivers directly in front of him. He is right there, and we'll see how he does as we are back to green, lap 74 of 107. But Fortson Poston, he wants that position. He's trying to get P4, and that is a battle for sure. We'll see how this pans out.
Speaking of battles, Tristan Health wants the lead back into 3. He drives it off deep. Jimmy tried to stay on him. I think Tristan had him cleared in the middle of the corner, but he couldn't move up to take the line away. Jimmy Cocker holds on to the lead at the line, but they are side by side to turn 1.
Yeah, you know, to get that full speed that you need, you have to use the whole track. And when you don't have it, sometimes you have to give up that speed, and that means giving up that lead. But take a look, Tristan Helf in the lead, and Steven Maggio going to be right behind him. He's going to dive it underneath to try to take over that lead. Tristan says, not so fast, sir. I'm going to try to do everything I can to keep that as they make some contact through the tri-oval. How about that across the start-finish line?
And that all got started because Jimmy Cocker got loose out of 2. Tristan had to check just a little bit. And Maggio, who's just able to come out of 2 at full song, was able to slingshot to the bottom, and he goes back to the race lead. But Tristan Helf is not giving this up. He knows he's got a fast Ford. He wants to be out front, and he's going to try to get him through 3 and 4.
Going up the track, trying to keep that momentum up. Jimmy Cocker looked like he's making it 3 wide. Why not? We're putting on a show right now. These guys 3 wide for the lead. Maggio, Helf, Cocker, here you go. Diagonal line all the way through. And now they're going to go single file as they're getting back into turn 3.
And that's just, and it was the exact order that they went from top to bottom. That was how they came out of the corner 1 through 3. Jimmy had a bad run on the bottom. Steven up top just got so much speed running that third groove. He was able to clear the 38, but Tristan not willing to give this to Steven just yet. He's trying to find momentum, and that was something he did very well because we've seen it in the past. When Steven gets out into clean air, sometimes it can just be game over. But last run, Tristan was the only guy who really had the longer run pace to go get the 51 car. He hadn't made the pass before we got the caution, but he definitely had the speed, so this isn't over.
Man, we were on a different view for the backstretch there, and there was a driver way down trying to save his car, and he made it back up out on track, trying to figure out who that was, but a great save from that driver there. But Steven Maggio still in the lead, Tristan Helf behind. Now they're starting to separate, Matt. You see Jimmy Cocker falling back a little bit. But take a look, Fortson Poston, he's going to be in 4th. He made his way around Francis Hamilton. These drivers got a little bit of gap between each other. Austin Mitty in 6th. Luke Allen in 7th, having a great run. Brennan Book, after a solo spin, he's back up here to P8. Andrew Sanford 9th, and Brian Pizzikemi up 14 spots to round out your top 10.
And that 10th spot might not be too comfortable because Jose Ruiz is stalking that 7018 Watson Chevrolet behind in 11th. Michael J. Adams having a fairly solid run as well, up in 12th. Travis Stroney 13th after he had issues earlier. Jordan McGraw 14th. Matt Burgess currently sits in the 15th position, just in front of Matthew Gale and the lapped car of Evan J. Adams. But right now, Matthew Gale 16th. Craig Meyer going by to 17th. Philip Bridgman 18th. And we got a battle for 19th. Nick Tarana, Dakota Wilkins, and John Velocity all going at it in front of the lap down car of Thomas Harmon back there.
Yeah, how about this pack right here? These guys were 2 and 3 wide. John Velocity right behind him, taking a look at everything going on. And as you said, they have Thomas Harmon in that 18 right behind. But Evan Adams, not sure what's going on with him here, but he did have that black flag. But now he's just fallen back a little bit. He's behind Matt Gale, so we'll see how this race goes for him. But he had such a strong start here.
Indeed, and every lap that they click off now is going to be one less that he needs. Like Evan right now, what he needs is A, a caution, and B, not to be the caution or be involved at all.
Yeah.
Because if Evan's the only car 1 lap down right now, he took the wave around, as you would. He had just pitted, so obviously you're going to take that wave around. But right now, he needs a caution flag desperately to give him a chance, because if he can get that caution flag, get on the same tires, it's not going to be easy having to come from 22nd in the field to try to rally, but he desperately needs a caution flag to have any chance of salvaging a good finish tonight.
Yeah, and we're lap 84 of 107, so this race is quickly winding down here. Let's go through and see. We had some nice battles throughout. Let's see if we can find any more here. I know Matthew Gale had some nice battles. These guys, looks like Evan Adams. Man, I don't know that he's battling anyone. He's got Matthew Gale right next to him, but these guys definitely spreading out, Matt.
Definitely, and it's these guys starting to, and it's the thing is these guys are swapping positions and fighting behind the race leaders, Maggio and Health right now. Despite Tristan's looked at it, like you can definitely see he wants to get back to that lead. He knows he can, but while Fortson, Jimmy, and Francis were kind of fighting for that third place position behind, they were able to break away a little, and you can just see Tristan is doing the right things through the corner. He's running high, trying to get momentum. That 51 is just so good everywhere. He's got that real life Toyota speed right now. He's able to go low, have good speed, go high, go middle. It just looks like that 51 is on rails right now.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, he went back-to-back wins last week and the week before. I'm pretty sure if he was in here for this whole season, that he would be definitely trying to have a challenge for back-to-back championships. He was our champion from last season. I guarantee he'd be in a huge battle for it this season. Unfortunately, he is not eligible for the chase this season as he joined very, very late. But man, he's in here for the wins and to have fun, and you can see he is doing just that.
And that's what's more fun than winning. Like, racing can be fun, but racing is fun. But racing there's just something different, Eliza, admit it, when you've got the car to fight for the race win and you can go out there week to week and go for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Knowing you've got it. Like, I've been in leagues where I'm a 15th to 20th place driver every week, and I just kind of have to accept that, okay, 12th might be the win this week, or
Right.
10th if we're lucky, when we're not at a plate track and chaos could maybe get me a top 5. But, like, when you're in a good league, like a fun league like this, and you've got the speed to go out and challenge for the win, maybe not even win, if you have just a good battle, you can walk away with a smile on your face. You can see Tristan's giving it everything to try to find a way by that 51. He's almost there off 4. Did he get to him? Yes, he did. They're side by side at the line.
They sure are, and I feel like he was using that seam in 1 and 2 in the middle line to try to help that car turn a little bit, which has been a little risky for some other drivers, but you can see going up high, these guys are still side by side, but Steven, he's got that high side momentum, so he's going to have that edge out there heading into the next corner. But man, this battle is far from over, but take a look. Fortson Poston not too far behind, and I've said this a couple of times tonight, when these drivers are battling, it's going to allow drivers like Fortson to make their way up to him.
Not just Fortson as well. The top 6 are now within 1 1/4 seconds, all the way back to Austin Mitty, that last car in that sort of loose train of vehicles. That, you gotta love it. Like that, Steven is just an expert at using the car on defense. He drove it down to the bottom. I think if Tristan's gonna do anything, he's got to find a way to get Maggio either off that line in turns 3 and 4, because even it seems like Tristan's a little bit better through that corner of the track, but Steven just having that momentum off the top side just gets him clear, and it's all he needs to get away.
Yeah, it's so true. And we're on lap 92. He's got to think of something fast to catch back up to Steven and make a run for that lead, but it is just so tough. Even when he's in the lead, Steven just has that consistency and knows that line to steal that lead back away from anyone who takes it. And you can see Steven is already just over half a second ahead of Tristan Health. So, man, it is just going to be tough out here. But Fortson, he's in 3rd. He's catching up to Tristan. Tristan is going to have to defend that position if he wants to bring home that P2.
Yeah, even if he wants to have a chance to come back and somehow find a way to get back to the race lead. Like, we've seen drivers have single car spins. We saw a Toyota spin from the race lead earlier. So I'm not saying Maggio's going to do it, but we have seen cars spin on their own from the race lead. So whoever's running second, it could all the way be to the white flag, and the leader just loses it off the corner. We saw it happen with Brooks Mustang earlier. Like, you're not just fighting for second, you're fighting for the lead if something happens to that race leader. The problem is, how long do you wait to start fighting if you're Fortson? Because you can see Maggio, you know how good he is. You know that, like, probably your best shot is going to be to not quite push that 38, but not fight him that hard either. Just work with him to try to reel the 51 in and have a chance, but how long do you wait to just go, okay, we're not going to get there, I have to just get the spot? And it's so hard to balance. I've been in this exact position where you can see it, you know you're faster if you could work together, but it's just not happening. How long do you wait till you pull the plug and say, okay, I'm going for it? Or looks like Fortson's going for it into turn 1.
Yeah, he's trying to take over that P2 spot. Meanwhile, Steven, he's put almost a second gap between him and second and third, who are battling currently for that P2 spot. Fortson has just been so incredibly strong this season. We talked to him in the booth before the race. He was one of the driver spotlights, and he just has so much speed. I keep telling him that win is coming. I know he's looking for it, so we'll see what happens. But you see Jimmy Cocker right behind, and his teammate for FIWB, Francis Hamilton. He's right there in the mix. And then there's Austin Mitty, who is another one. That win is coming. It's just so many strong drivers up here. It's incredible.
Absolutely. You have to love the talent level in Shake and Bake. It's just it keeps finding a way to evolve and get better. And not necessarily and we're not seeing this become like a super league. This isn't becoming like a league where you've got like Coke Series level drivers in here, but you have guys who are extremely talented and guys who are finding ways to just elevate and beat and fight with them. Although right now, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to elevate and run down Steven Maggio. Looking at the lap times, 31.007 for the 51 to a 31.241 for health. He's gaining 0.2 a lap somehow, even after being forced to that high side, burn up your tires to try to stay out front. He made Tristan burn up his stuff more, and now he's just gone out front.
He sure is. Tristan was a little bit faster on that lap, that last lap, but not by much. But Steven is just so incredibly consistent. He's just under a second and a half out ahead of Tristan Health. We're under 10 laps to go, and specifically 9 coming to 8 laps to go. So this race is quickly coming to an end here. Are we going to take this triple races for victory for Steven Maggio back to back to back?
There's a very good possibility, and I can guarantee you, having been in Steven's position, getting to the race lead and knowing you've got this fairly in the bag unless you make a mistake, you're just sitting there as he comes to the line to take 7 to go. Come on, guys, just 3.5 minutes, because that's roughly what 7 laps is here at Chicagoland, running about 30-second lap times. Come on, guys, 3.5 minutes. Just don't make a mistake. I do not want to have to slow down. I don't want to say it. I'm trying not to say it. You don't
jinx us, sir.
I'm not, but I'm trying not to. But you know what I mean. He does not want to. He wants this race to. He only wants to see green, then white, then checker. He does not want to see any other colored flag come up right now. I think that was smooth enough of a way to get away from saying it that I didn't say it.
We're on board with Tristan Health. You can see that 12 right there. Meanwhile, our leader has put these guys down by 2 seconds with 6 to go. So, man, oh, man. I think the real battle is not going to be for the victory here. I think it's going to be for P2 and P4. Because we do have a little battle here between Jimmy Cocker and his teammate Francis Hamilton, who is going to the high side with 5 laps to go. So this battle for the top 5 positions is not over.
No, it is not. And he's trying to get there. Jimmy sliding up in front of him. Car in the wall behind. Oh, Brendan Book nearly went for a second slide up through the infield on the backstretch because Travis Stroney almost got him. I swear I didn't say it. And it almost happened.
You bite your tongue, sir.
I didn't say it.
That's true.
But
That's
good
true.
move by Francis to roll that outside to bring it back to the action. Just good job. He's able to roll the top in 3 and 4. I think he's probably a little bit quicker than the 12 and 38 in front of him, but I don't know if he's going to have the time with under 3 laps, with under 4 to go here.
Yeah, he's had an incredible run here, Francis has, and I know he's a huge fan of increasing the length of these races. He is constantly messaging me saying, hey, these races are going awesome. Let's increase the length. I think almost every other race he's saying that, and we're already 3 laps to go, and I know Francis saying, come on, guys, we need longer races as he is trying to make his way up through the field. Austin Mitty and Jimmy Cocker were just battling it out. Steven Maggio in the lead. Tristan Helf in second, about just under 2.5 seconds back. Fortson Poston in third. This race, 2 laps to go, Matt.
And I mean, valiant effort from everybody in the field. But as soon as I had a sneaking suspicion as soon as we saw Steven get that one restart from P6 after he had charged up like 14 positions in that initial run, that we could be in for a 3-peat. I'm not trying to jinx it, but just how good Steven is, how quickly he got to the front. We saw that speed in the 51. Like, uh-oh, as we take the white flag, 1 lap to go for Steven Maggio.
Yeah, about to be a 3-peat winner here. You can see him. I don't think he's going to mess up. We haven't seen it really at all in all the races that he has been out here with us. Final lap here. About to win the race at Chicagoland Speedway. He's been so consistent, so strong. He's got Tristan Helf 2.5 seconds back almost, but here he goes, rounding it out here, and he's going to get the win. He's going to be a 3-peat winner here in Season 6, our first one, champion from last season, Steven Maggio.
Phenomenal drive from him, and like I said, valiant effort from Tristan Helf. He gave it everything trying to get to the lead, but just the Toyota had a little bit more than the 2 Fords behind him. Helf holds off Poston for second, Fortson Poston, another strong run to P3. Francis Hamilton and Austin Mitty round out the top 5 with Jimmy Cocker, Travis Stroney, Brendan Book, a great recovery for him after his single car spin earlier. To 8th, Andrew Sanford and Brian Pisicemi rounding out the top 10.
Kind of curious what happened to Jimmy. I know he was 4th or so kind of curious where that went. We might have to get a replay here, but Steven Maggio, let's take it back to him, as you know he's going to burn it down. There he is now. Great job. Always so consistent out there. Man, oh man, what a race. I know he had a lot of battles with Tristan out there. I'm kind of curious to hear what Tristan has to say. And Steven, what he thinks his races are going to look like, especially headed to Nashville. It's going to be very interesting.
For sure. Nashville, if he enjoys... Nashville's a tricky track. It's arguably even trickier than Chicagoland. It is a deceptive track. You get into the corners thinking you can carry a ton of speed, and you really can't. You have to bleed it off.
It's so true. All right, we got second and third in here. Let's see if we can get our winner once again. He's not usually out there in the chat, so we'll try to get him in here. But while we're waiting, man, oh man, Tristan, we saw you have some nice battles out there for the lead. What could you have done to try to get that win tonight?
I don't think there was anything I could really do. Once he got the lead and had clean air, it's just really tough to pass, and the dirty air is real bad. And I saved my stuff as good as I could, but we were battling with Jimmy. I heated the tires up too much, trying to make the bottom work, and that car just kind of like gave up. And Fortson, me and him were having a pretty good battle there for the end, held him off. Almost got me though.
You gained 5 spots tonight. I know you're not a huge fan of the car, but are you having more fun than you thought you were going to have?
I still hate the car. That's why I only race it Monday nights. I don't do officials. Um, but yeah, it's a challenge. It was fun working my way up from where I started, but it was definitely really challenging for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we saw you out there. You beat him off at pit road, talking about Steven Maggio. How do you hold somebody off that is so consistent out there?
Clean air, so I can aero grief him. That would have been the only way, honestly, because he was doing so good taking the lines that I wanted and making me aero tight and making me use more tire than I really wanted to, but I knew it was go time, so I had to push as hard as I could and just heat the tires up too much. And when Jimmy got by me there in 3 and 4, I think that kind of really helped Steven in a big way. Then, I mean, Jimmy could have ran away with it too. He was really fast. I'm sorry, I'm hot. I'm sweating.
All good, Tristan. All right. Well, next week we're headed to Nashville. What do you think about Nashville?
Which one?
Super Speedway.
Oh, it's okay. I think with these cars, it's going to be bad. Aero bad.
I feel like that's the case at every track in this car.
It's astoundingly terrible.
Well, you made it look like a lot of fun. It was fun watching you battle out there. Congratulations on P2.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
All right, Matt, we have the race winner out here, a three-peat winner, Steven Maggio.
Indeed, Steven, Matt in the booth. Third time in a row I get to interview you, sir. Congratulations. How did you have enough left in the tires there to pull away from Tristan? Because it looked like you were fighting kind of hard to hold the race lead, and then at the end, you just pulled away and made what looked like was going to be kind of close into about a 2.5-second victory there.
Yeah, first off, I just want to say shout out Tristan and Jimmy. That was really fun. We were battling really hard there at the beginning of the final run. And I didn't do great. I let Jimmy get to my outside, and then that put me back to third. And I was like, oh boy, this is not ideal because it's hard to pass at this track. But they started battling for the lead, and Jimmy got a little loose, and I was able to clear him down the backstretch. And from then on, it was just me and Tristan. We battled side by side for a couple laps, and I was able to clear him. And at that point, I was thinking that I was in a pretty good spot because the first run, he ran me down. And I was like, oh boy, I gotta run defensive here. And I was able to hold him off. And then I was wondering what we were going to do with the pit strategy. We were right about to get to that point where you're thinking about pitting. And the caution came out, so that kind of saved us from that. And at that point, when we came off, I mean, I lost the lead, so that stunk. But when we came off 1, 2, 3 still, I knew it was going to be between us because we had pulled away the first time. Like I said, that whole restart unfolded, and I knew that it was going to be different this time because I was really loose on the first run, and I think Tristan saved his rear tires really good, and that's why he was able to run me down. And the only reason I held him off was because I was able to run the outside somewhat good enough where I could take his line away and not let him get a good run on my inside. But once you get towards the end of the race, the track rubbers up, so that's a huge thing because no matter what track you're at and no matter what car you're at, the track rubbers up as you race, and it makes your car tighter. Pretty much anywhere, it's going to tighten up your car. So I had that going for me, and we had less fuel because we run full fuel tanks in this league, which I think is awesome. Shout out that because this is like the only league that does that. And that made me really loose, having all that weight in the back, but we only filled up to around 13.5 gallons this time. And that was another thing I had going for me that was going to make me a little bit tighter. So I was thinking if I could just get the lead, it would kind of flip-flop to where it wasn't going to be about saving the right rear, it was going to be about saving the right front. And he had been running a tighter line on that first run than I had. I had been running a looser line on the bottom. So with it kind of flip-flopping and this run going to just naturally be tighter, I had a feeling I was going to be in a good spot. And it just worked out where I was able to save my right front on the bottom, and I think he burned it up a little bit more. Obviously also in dirty air, but him running that higher line I think maybe used up a little bit more right front than me. And once it kind of went away, I was able to just settle in and make sure I kept taking care of it. And yeah, just was trying to see. I was still pushing at the end there, which is part of why I was pulling away so much, just because I wanted to see what the car was gonna do. But yeah, it was a really fun race. I learned a lot in this race. You know, like I was saying about how the top I think is tighter and the bottom is looser, and like what the car is gonna do, how it's gonna change, how the track's gonna change, and it was just really fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, we definitely enjoyed watching it, especially what ended up being the pass for the win against Jimmy and Tristan on the back straightaway. Can you can you take us back through what you saw coming off a two there, because that could have very easily ended badly with Jimmy getting up right by the wall and Tristan having to get out of the gas right in front of you.
Yeah, it kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't really expecting it, and had a I thought my run was gonna be bigger. Honestly, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be able to take him through here, and then I only barely cleared Jimmy, and I didn't do it quick enough to where I could just like shoot up to the top and run the top and maybe try to get to Tristan's outside. So I was like, I saw him down the backstretch and I couldn't tell if he was decided where he was gonna go. So I was trying to take advantage of that decisiveness. So I kind of just like threw it into three on the bottom enough to where I got to his inside, and then we made a little bit of contact on the exit of the corner. I don't know if that was my fault. If it was, it was not intentional. It was kind of weird though because like the initial contact happened and it really should have been nothing, but like our cars glued together. Like my wheel turned right and everything. I was like, whoa, trying to yank it left to get off of him. But we were still side by side down the straightaway, and I think I was able to clear him into one there because I had the bottom rolling pretty good at that point in the race. And from there, it was just running my defensive line. I was air blocking sometimes, which I don't love to do because it's kind of like it's a little lame. I know you have to do it sometimes, but
Indeed.
um, yeah, I was just trying to do that. But not even that. But like if he would get to my inside, I was just trying to manage my corner. I like to run. Two people have two different ways to do this when someone gets to their inside. Sometimes they'll just run like their normal line on the outside and try to get a big run, so that way, regardless of if the guy clears them or not, they can just take it back to his inside. I like to just kind of pinch him down a little bit and just kind of stay on their door. I think it'll make them a little bit tighter, and it ensures that he won't clear me for the most part. And I was able to do that. I think he got to my inside twice, and then at that point, his tires were starting to scream a little bit, and I was able to just drive away. So.
Gotcha. Well, it definitely worked tonight, Steven. Congratulations on that. Next week, we go to Nashville. Thoughts going to the big concrete oval?
Yeah, I actually don't think it's going to be as bad as you guys think because they did update the car with the 750 horsepower there, and the tire wear is a little bit different there. So there will be a little bit more tire wear than you'll expect, but it will be hard aero wise, but it's not as bad as it used to be. So at least we're trending in the right direction there, and I love that track. I've always been pretty good there. I think my first ever SMB race was at Nashville, and it was between me, Andrew Wisdom, and Matthew O'Brien, so it was pretty big throwback, I guess. But it ended up being a fuel saving race, and I lost to Matthew O'Brien, and he's hung that race over my head for forever, and all because of the stupid fuel saving. But
Yep.
that was really fun. So my first ever start was there, and hopefully I can go back and actually get it done this time.
All right. Well, congratulations again, Steven, on the win. Hopefully, we can see if you can go for 4 straight in Nashville next week.
Thank you guys. Have a good one. God bless.
All right, take care. All right, Eliza, our third place finisher, another strong run tonight for Fortson Poston.
Yeah, Fortson gaining 10 spots. We spoke to you before the race, and now here we are again after the race. And that hasn't happened too many times, but it's happened for you. And I keep saying that win is coming. But first, we got to talk about how did your race go? How did you feel out there?
Steven's done, right? I can talk now?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Lord. It was okay. The first stint, I burned my tires up too early, and I was ripping the top too long. So I tried not to do that the second stint, and I got a lot better towards the end. I feel like I could have maybe kept up with Steven. I wish I would have been a little bit better getting to him. Got Ryan Newman in front of me all race, which is great. And it was okay. I mean, I'll never complain about third place. I was good, just not as good as I wanted to be. There's definitely a little bit left on the table, but I mean, I said third place. I can't complain too much.
What do you feel you could have done different to possibly get that win tonight?
track position.
Yeah.
Just qualified better,
Mhm.
I guess. That's about it. Just
You
be in
gained
front
10
of the people
spots,
that
so that's
you-
pretty darn good. But I know that clean air is everything. So having less cars out in front of you to pass is definitely the better way to go about it. But man, you had a great race. Was there any fun battles that you had out there?
trying to think. Me and Jimmy had a good one. I was like for fourth right before I was catching the front pack. His battle with Tristan was clean, but it was annoying because the car sucks and I can't get by him. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, heading to Nashville next week. How do you feel about Nashville?
No idea. I've gotten wrecked out of every race I've tried to run there pretty much, so I'm kind of going in there blind.
All right. Well, it's better than saying absolutely terrible. So
Right.
let's hope it goes a lot better than getting wrecked out. So, yeah. Congratulations on a P3 tonight. It was a lot of fun watching you guys out there. So great job.
Thank you.
All right, Matt. It was a heck of a race out there. A couple of cautions, but man, very, very clean. A lot of fun. And next week, Nashville.
Another tough track for these drivers to go to. Like I said, a deceptively tricky one. You drive into the corner, you got all that space. You think you can carry a lot of momentum, and if you get it wrong, you're going straight into that outside wall because the banking does not catch you like it does at Chicagoland or any of these other 1.5 mile roughly tracks. So should be a fun one next week.
I think so. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We had some great races, great battles. And fantastic paint schemes. So a huge shout out to the drivers for that. But we'll see you next Monday, 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys take it easy. Have a great night.
Take care, everyone.